Well, today is Monday, January 3rd. It's 2 p.m. here on the East Coast. It's the first trading day of 2022. And our focus for this video is going to be on Tesla, which is up over 11% so far today. They had some great news on deliveries for the quarter, and that is what spiked the stock higher. And this spike puts the stock into a pretty interesting position from an options perspective. And that's what we're going to focus on here over the next few minutes. So first, what we want to show you is our Equity Hub snapshot of this stock. So we go over to our Equity Hub. You can look at over 3,500 different stocks in here. We're just going to pop Tesla in, and we're going to look at two curves here. The first curve is this blue curve. It is the curve of call gamma for Tesla. So this looks at every single option in the Tesla options complex and models out what the gamma profile looks like. So the blue line is the call gamma, and the orange line is the put gamma. Now we will say, and there's some other videos that talk about this, that when you see this blue line break below the orange line, that is the recipe for a gamma squeeze. That's not in every single name, but in a name that trades a lot of options like Tesla, we think that's the case. So where you can see this blue line break north of the put gamma line is right around 1115 is the number. So, 1126, somewhere in that neighborhood. We put that up on Twitter this morning when the stock was around 1150, and we said, look, 1115 is where we're bullish because of this gamma squeeze setup. What's also interesting is you can see that the call gamma drops sharply. So it accelerates around 1200. There's a lot of calls at 1200. So as the stock moves towards 1200, that tells us that there could be a little bit more volatility there, right? And that volatility could be due to market makers, which has to actively hedge this call gamma. So that's why we care about these gamma curves. That's what's interesting about them. Now, going into today, most of the calls, the biggest call position was at the 1000 strike. So we have a lot of in the money calls that are positioned now. And that brings up something interesting looking forward to January. And we'll post about this in another video. But there's a lot of in the money calls. And so the key for Tesla today to really continue to ignite this squeeze would be active trading. Now, as you know, if you've followed our videos for a while, generally what will happen and what we expect to happen is that traders will come in and they will look to use the very shortest dated options they can. So they'll look at, in this case, the January options that expire on Friday, and they will try to buy those calls in order to squeeze the stock. So we're going to show you a chart here, and this is from some proprietary tools that we're currently working with. We call this our hero data. Now, what you see here is on the black line is the price of Tesla shares, and on the purple line is a measure of Tesla's real-time options deltas. So what are the deltas? Are they positive or negative from the flow taking place? Well, not surprisingly, it is a very positive delta day in options land for Tesla, which is telling us a lot of call trades are taking place. Now, what's most interesting here is you can see off the open, everybody's expecting a gamma squeeze. There's a lot of call buying, flattens out a little bit, another surge of call buying comes in, and you can see the stock price trades in lockstep with this. And then for most of the afternoon, that flow dies out. So when this flow goes flat, this is telling us there's not much trading taking place, and there's a pullback. And then right around 12:45 or 1 o'clock, the flow seems to have turned back on and picked up. So what you need to do is think about this call flow. As the call flow comes in, this should incent market makers to have to buy some more stock. And when you compare this to the existing market maker position or dealer position, this is a fairly bullish setup, and we could see a pretty good squeeze, we think, at Tesla, with 1200 being the obvious overhead target. Obviously, right now we're trading 1180, so that's not that far off. But what we put in Twitter this morning is that if we get over 1175, that would sort of unlock, again, this last little leg of gamma for the stock to move up into the 1200 price area. So if you have any questions in this, please put them in the comment section below. You can hit us up at SpotGamma on Twitter or send us an email at info@spotgamma.com. If you want to try out the Equity Hub, you can do so, and you can get a free 5-day trial. If you go to spotgamma.com, there's a link there to set that trial up.